it.
Michael, Andre Everett was the last trade, 2 minutes to go. He's obviously showed you a lot today. He looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, he had a good game, and he's fitted in very well for the football club. All the boys like him. He's a pretty quiet type, but he's made friends. And I think today, probably the best thing that's come out of today for him is that he's able to play in multiple position, multi-role, and the players acknowledge it. So, yeah, he'll become a valuable player, I'm sure.
How touch and go was it at the end on that trade?
I can't remember the circumstances. I went up to, it was a trip to Port Douglas, put it that way. So, up and back at the same day, and he was keen to move, given the circumstances of what happened in Sydney. And but sometimes those things get a bit too hard, and I think he thought it might have got a bit too hard. So he didn't want to make waves. That's a typical reaction of the kid. He's very much a person that just wants to get on with it and play footy. So as it turned out, look, it's been good, and I'm sure Sydney will benefit from what transfer took place. I can't even remember the transfer.
Yeah. But the versatility, I suppose, was that the key that sort of struck you in the first place? You could play it forward, you could play back, as we saw out there today.
Yeah, for sure.
What you got out of Cam Wood as well?
Yeah, Cameron Wood's he's a maturing ruckman. I think it's just, look, it's great to, I'll put a plug in for Ballarat. I think it's just, one, I commend the AFL for this type of involvement at a very, very good ground. I think it's so important that when we have these competitions, we have the opportunity to go to country centres. And you can see by the crowds today, it's an indicator of what people think about the game. And you walk through the rooms and you'll see Matthew Capuano, who's part of our match committee, his photographs on the wall, and you'll see Michael Jamison's there, and who else from here? There's a number of players, Drew Petrie, of course. So it's just an illustration of how many players actually roll through these country centres, and in particular North Ballarat. I'm a North, once a Northie, always a Northie. I don't mean North Melbourne either. So, I'm just rapt to be back in Ballarat. It's a great city. It's a very sporting city. Wonderful ground here. Great crowd, and it was a good contest. So when you have a good contest, and the people get involved in it, they go home with something, and they say, right, we can understand why players go to Melbourne and play or go interstate. But the fundamental thing of it is, to me, is to give something back to the people from this area who have been so good for elite sport and elite football.
Are we edging closer to North? Obviously trying to push for home and away games here, a handful. Are we edging closer to that, do you think?
Well, I guess if you can get those stands, those portable stands, why not? It's a great ground. It is a very, very good ground. Good size.
Surface is pretty good.
It's an hour and 10 minutes from Melbourne. It's a wonderful city. Why not? But I'm not. You've got to get the logistics right. I'm not here to say I know the logistics. So let's just say that I'm very pro Ballarat, and I think that if anyone can put something on, they can. In particular, North Ballarat.
You dominated the centre clearances there with a couple of star midfielders out. Is it significant, do you think, against North's midfield? Where do you think they rank?
Yeah, well, the numbers suggest that. There's a couple of times where they cleared the ball a bit too clean, but by and large our numbers were up. And I think testament to two ruckmen. You said about Cameron Wood, he's slotted in beautifully. He's a maturing young man that's now gone on and felt what it's like not to be part of an AFL football club. His contesting today was good. Robbie Warnock was very good. And it puts a little bit of pressure on there because we've got Matthew Cruiser available next week. So we've got to work it that we go into our first 3 rounds with a few options, and that midfield can be swapped and changed. We didn't dominate the ball, but we actually won the stoppage, but we didn't dominate the ball. That's an area we've got to pick up.
Pre-seasons of Tom Bell and Dylan Buckley, they look like they've had really good pre-seasons and will make a difference this year as well. You like to add on to your list. Yeah. And it's okay to say Andreas and Dale, Cameron, and then you look at Sam Doherty as well, and then you look at the other kids that we recruit. But you'd like to say that
we get better within as well. Bell, Buckley, Watson, Warnock, Rowe, Allard. They didn't play a lot of footy last year. So by them playing well now, it means our list is getting better because they are playing good early football. Now, there's a long way to go, but they put their hand up to say, well, we can stand up.
Rowe stood up pretty well under a pretty fair amount of pressure.
Yeah. Rowe doesn't make any confidence in himself, so I reckon he probably thinks he can handle most positions, which is great.
Do you have any injuries today, and who else are you looking at maybe apart from Matty Cruz?
There's a few there, but we'll have to sit down and analyse it though. It's too early to start to pick sides. We don't play until next Monday, so Monday week.
No serious injuries?
No, not at all. No.
How disappointed were you that Daisy couldn't have the hit out today?
Well, I'd be probably the second most disappointed. He'd be the most disappointed. Yeah.
And he's progressing well.
Yeah, well, the latest thing I had, he's progressing well. Yeah. Good. Okay. All the best.